Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, there was a humming forest, full of life and vibrant with the colours of the wild. Creatures would animate under the brightest shade of the midnight moon, singing and dancing as if painting the trees. For this was no ordinary forest. It was alive with the ancient magic so old it had gifted spirits to the trees. They were named nymphs, joyous creatures who knew only of happiness and their enchanted home of ancient times. And all was peaceful throughout the lands. But this is not where our story begins. Our story begins in a distant land upon a hill, inside of a dreary cottage where a greedy witch lived. Tales of such a forest had reached her, like whispering tongues slithering to her side, echoing the tales of great power and magic of the forest. As her head filled with mouth-watering temptation to devour such magic and become the most fearful witch the world had ever seen, she devised a plan which would set in motion the most horrific tale. Disguising her hideous form with a glamour charm, her hag-like appearance faded away as it was awash in a basketful array of colours and light. There stood a beautiful young maiden of golden hair and fair skin like porcelain. The witch was ready to embark on her plan. But as she arrived to the forest, it was silent. Only faint hushes and subtle rustles of leaves could be heard. Surely this was not the humming forest she was foretold of, she thought, as she ventured deeper into the woods. Finding herself lost in a maze of trees, she happened upon a grove, where the shadows shifted and swayed as if they were shyly watching her. The witch sat by a pond in the grove and swirled her fingers across with liquid mirror. She began to softly sing. The melody she mused was that of a lonely ballad, when suddenly the voices of the trees began to sing with her, and the forest burst into a symphony of life. The witch grinned as the radiant spirits began to dance around her, vibrant and ethereal, as they delighted in bringing such joy to her. Such power she would obtain if she was just to gobble them up where she stood right now, she thought to herself, as she grew impatient and crazed for the impending surge of might. However, lost in a haze of daydreams, she had not realized that she had stopped singing, and the nymphs and creatures began to fade back into the shadows on their timber homes. The witch could not absorb their power once they retreated to the trees. No! Her gurgled scream erupted from her now creased face. You will be mine. Her words like thunder, she began to try and grab the fey creatures. A single touch would singe their skin. They were frightened of the now morphing hand in front of them. Most were quick to hide under their bark, all but one, whose home resided far away from the grove. The witch began to chase the little nymph, scorching the ground beneath her, casting spells and taunting as she took personal offence to the insolent spirit that denied her assault. Reaching out, tearing the air like daggers, fear coiling round the neck of the little nymph. Home in sight, the nymph's oak solitude, branches like limbs reaching out so close. Almost there. Fingers touching the bark. The witch had captured the little nymph, tearing his tree down and rebinding his soul to it, dragging him back to the grove as the others watched the witch carve a puppet out of the nymph's cage, his new body. Now silenced forever, thoughts echoing around his head, panic, fear, as the witch cursed him to stay alive as she absorbed his magical essence. He could feel all the joy drain from his soul, and that all that there was despair. The witch then strung him up and left, promising to return soon. But as time wore on, his string snapped, and he was eternally doomed to lay where his soul was ripped from the forest, longing to return to his brothers and sisters, but no one hearing his sobs for help, for he cannot speak. He descended into madness as the ancient forest tried to reclaim him, slowly rotting and becoming a bed for new flowers. Sometimes I wonder what his insanity sat, but I guess we'll never